What's up, NFL fans? It's NFL Lane back again. Today, we're going to be doing 2021 Mock Draft 3.0 after the Senior Bowl, and we're going to be adding 2 trades within it. So first mock draft with trades after the Super Bowl. Super good video, so you got to stay to the end to see who I pick for all the teams. Before we jump into it, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Tons of off-season content coming. Tons of more stuff, coaching, free agency, and tons of draft stuff. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I make a video. With that said, let's jump right into it. So the number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence, he's the best player in the draft. There's no question he's going to go number 1 overall. There's no way Justin Fields or Zach Wilson can compare to him, mainly because he just has every single trait. He has close to 0 flaws in his game. Yes, Justin Fields beat him in the Ohio State Clemson game, but that doesn't matter. He's much better quarterback, and he's almost guaranteed to go first overall. Next, the New York Jets. They should not pass up on a quarterback here. If they trust in Sam Darnold, they probably won't be able to get a quarterback of Zach Wilson's caliber next year if they don't have a high draft pick. So with this high draft pick, they should take this opportunity and get the quarterback that they need. And at number 3, we have a trade. We have the Detroit Lions jumping up from number 7 to number 3 to snag Justin Fields. They're probably sitting at number 7 thinking, maybe we only get Trey Lance, but now that the Jets have not taken Zach Wilson, we really like Justin Fields, so we're going to jump up and get him. We have Jared Goff, but Justin Fields can sit behind him for a little bit. Jared Goff, I do not think the Detroit Lions want to make him their starting future franchise quarterback, so I think Justin Fields would be the perfect guy for him. So let's look at the trade real quick. The Lions, of course, they get the 3rd overall pick, which they'll probably select Justin Fields with if they move up that high. And the Dolphins, they move back to 7 and get the 41st overall pick. I think the Dolphins would do this because up at the top, if they don't want to take Penei Sewell, they're probably looking for a receiver. And I think they'll move back to 7, and they'll just take either Ja'Marr Chase or DeVonta Smith if it falls to them, which most likely one of those 2 players will fall to them. So I think they take that risk, pick up an extra second-round pick, which will be their 3rd second-round pick, and they will be even more loaded with draft picks and still get one of those high-caliber receivers that they're looking for. And at number 4, the Falcons are like, dude, we just got scammed. The Detroit Lions just jumped up and took Justin Fields, but they still want to get a quarterback, so they picked Trey Lance. This quarterback class is loaded, I'm telling you right now. Justin Fields, Zach Wilson would both be number 1 quarterbacks in any other draft class. Trey Lance would be a number 2 or number 3 quarterback. It just happened, so he's the number 4 quarterback. The Falcons are thinking, we're not going to pick up here ever again. They don't really want to trade back because that's too risky, so they just take Trey Lance, the 4th quarterback off the board, but he's still so talented. He could be a number 1 quarterback in a different draft class, number 2 maybe. He's super talented out of North Dakota State, so he has a lot of high potential, can work in Arthur Smith's offense. So I have 4 quarterbacks right off the bat, which is pretty ridiculous. Then the Cincinnati Bengals at number 5, they pick Penei Sewell, offensive tackle. Best offensive tackle. People are arguing Rashawn Slater because of his versatility, but Penei Sewell is just so big and so powerful. The Bengals, this is perfect for them. All quarterbacks, so they can pick up Penei Sewell. Then the Philadelphia Eagles at number 6, they pick up Ja'Marr Chase. I don't know, it's close between him and DeVonta Smith for the best wide receiver, but I think Ja'Marr Chase, a good fit for the Eagles. I'm not saying give up on Jaylen Reagor. I'm just saying they need to add more talent. That wide receiver class has not been good for a long time, so they want to make that a good environment for whichever quarterback starting, whether that's Jalen Hurts or Carson Wentz. So they pick up Ja'Marr Chase. Then the Miami Dolphins, after they traded down, they still get the wide receiver that they would want up there, which is DeVonta Smith. They don't get Ja'Marr Chase. If they wanted Ja'Marr Chase, they wouldn't have gotten him. But I still think DeVonta Smith is a very good wide receiver, and I think trading down was worth it for the Miami Dolphins, seeing that they still got a top-tier receiver without having to pick him at number 3 and picking up an extra pick. DeVonta Smith, the Heisman winner, super good player out of Alabama. And at number 8, we have Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State. Micah Parsons, he's been having some issues off the field, arguing with some coaches and some bad stuff. I'm not really sure about that. He's still a really, really good player. Until I hear more about that, I think the Carolina Panthers will take him. He can be their next Luke Kuechly. So I think the Panthers take him at 8. Now we're moving on to round 1, picks 9 through 16. The Denver Broncos, I think they picked Kwity Paye. Von Miller got injured last year, and there are concerns about him. They can still keep Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, but if they have Kwity Paye, it'll just be an extra layer, and that pass rush will be insane. Then if Kwity Paye can learn behind Von Miller and even Bradley Chubb, because I do not think they want to let that pass rush go, because that's like a signature of their team. They always have a good pass rush. And then at number 10, we have a trade. I think the Los Angeles Chargers jump up to get Patrick Surtain. I think once they realize that the Denver Broncos haven't taken him and that the Dallas Cowboys also need an offensive tackle, I jump up and try to get him. Let's look at the trade here. The Chargers receive the 10th overall pick, which they'll pick Patrick Surtain with. Really good player out of Alabama. They want to get Patrick Surtain for Brandon Staley's defense. He's a lockdown corner. That's what the Rams had in Jaylen Ramsey in LA. So I think they try to remake that. They get a super solid corner that can work behind Casey Hayward, Chris Harris Jr., but will develop into a lockdown corner, which is exactly what the Chargers need. So they jump up to get him. And then the Cowboys, they drop down to the 13th overall pick, so drop down 3 spots. And they receive the 109th overall pick, which is a 4th rounder. I think this is worth it for the Cowboys. They would pick Patrick Surtain, but they want to help their offensive line instead. So we'll see who they pick. And at number 11, the New York Giants select Jaylen Waddle. I think the New York Giants need to give Daniel Jones one more year with a healthy Saquon Barkley and some good weapons. They could go Kyle Pitts here, but I think Jaylen Waddle can be a good downfield weapon for the New York Giants, so I think they pick him up. At number 12, the San Francisco 49ers select Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley, super athletic, cornerback out of Virginia Tech, can move and fly around the field, super good player. I think they pick him up to help their secondary. And then the Dallas Cowboys, who traded down, they pick up Rashawn Slater. I think this was a good move. The only people they missed out on were Caleb Farley and Patrick Surtain, but I think they would rather protect Dak Prescott. They could help the defense, but I think if they help protect Dak Prescott, and if they don't focus on their O-line, it could lead to some very bad things, like him getting injured again. So I think they need to protect the O-line. They need to get that O-line back up to the status when they were the first overall seed. So I think they need to get a super good O-line. They trade down, get Rashawn Slater, so it's a good move for the Dallas Cowboys. And at number 14, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. Solid player, solid tackle, good for the Minnesota Vikings. We don't know what's happening at quarterback, but they want to get a good line that's struggling, so they pick up an offensive tackle. At number 15, the New England Patriots select Mac Jones. Mac Jones luckily fell to them. We saw all those quarterbacks being reached for, but Mac Jones just slid all the way down the board to the New England Patriots, so they're lucky with that. They pick him up. I don't know if he'll start immediately or he'll sit behind Jarrett Stidham or Cam Newton. I'm not sure yet, but he'll eventually become the franchise guy. At number 16, we have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Kyle Pitts. Another player that somehow slid all the way down to the Arizona Cardinals at number 16. This could be a really, really good weapon for Kyler Murray. He's able to get so much separation, and he's so good at the red zone, jump balls. So this would be a perfect weapon to pair with DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, and Larry Fitzgerald, who are all speedy wide receivers. You have a big tight end. That'll be super good for the Cardinals. At number 17, the Raiders select Gregory Rousseau. If Gregory Rousseau falls to the Raiders, I don't think this is a question. They need edge help. They need a pass rusher. Their pass rush was not good besides Max Crosby. Gregory Rousseau would be the perfect guy for the Las Vegas Raiders at number 17. At number 18, last mock draft, I had the Dolphins going Najee Harris. The more I think about it, I think the Dolphins need to pick up Samuel Cosmi. They can pick up a running back in the later rounds. They don't need to waste a first-round pick on him. And Samuel Cosme fell this far, so I think they pick him up mainly because he's a really solid tackle. They have Austin Jackson, but this will help solidify their offensive tackle. If they're giving Tua in his sophomore season, they need to protect him, so I think this is a good protection. They're all in for helping Tua right now. Their defense was good last year, but they're all in for helping Tua. At number 19, we have the Washington football team. They select J.C. Horn, cornerback. A little early for him, but I think he's still a super solid prospect. They could go offense here, but there's no quality cornerbacks. They don't really want to go up and get Rashad Bateman yet. They just want to make this defense even better in the back end, so it's such a lethal defense. J.C. Horn, a playmaker, so perfect for the Washington football team. At number 20, Rashad Bateman for the Chicago Bears. We don't know what's happening with Allen Robinson. Rashad Bateman, kind of like him, so I think he could come in and do good. And if Allen Robinson stays or leaves, they have Rashad Bateman no matter what. And then the Colts at number 21, they select Liam Eichenberg. This pick could be traded away very well by the Colts for a quarterback, but right now I think they go offensive line. Their roster's already very, very stacked, so I think just helping the offensive line even more, especially on the outside, because you got Quentin Nelson on the inside, help the outside out. Super good pick for the Colts. At number 22, the Tennessee Titans select Azeez Al-Jawari. He's an edge rusher. The Titans, probably the worst pass rushing team last year. They got to help that, so I think they have to invest first-round draft picks, and they could even go out in free agency and pick up a different pass rusher. So the Titans go edge at number 22. At number 23, the New York Jets select Travis Etienne. They just got Zach Wilson. I think they get another playmaker. The reason the Jets have not been winning games is because they have no playmakers on offense. So I think if they get Zach Wilson and Travis Etienne, they can pair pretty well. Mobile quarterback, Travis Etienne, good out of the backfield as well. So good pairing. They already have decent O-line. I'm not saying it's anywhere near where they want to get it, but I should focus on playmakers. Travis Etienne, super good playmaker right here, so they pick him up at number 23. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 24, they select Najee Harris. Now, this may be a little bit too early for two running backs to go off the board, but I think the Steelers really want to get that pound-it running back, and that's exactly what Najee Harris is. He can pound inside the tackles. He can bounce out, stiff arm. He's kind of Derrick Henry-esque, which I think the Steelers, that's exactly what they want. So they pick Najee Harris at number 24. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, with their second pick, they select Alex Leatherwood. Solid offensive tackle. They need to protect Trevor Lawrence, their franchise quarterback. And I think they can get some good weapons in second and third rounds. So I think they select Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, at number 25. And then the Cleveland Browns at number 26 select Azu Koramora, linebacker. This is really solid for the Cleveland Browns. Joe Schobert's obviously been gone for a few years, so they want to kind of rebuild that defense. Their offense looked pretty good, but they want to help that mid-range of the defense. And then with the Baltimore Ravens, they select Elijah Vera Tucker with the 27th pick. Luckily, Elijah Vera Tucker fell to them, exactly what they need. You saw in that divisional round game how Lamar Jackson got absolutely whomped by the Buffalo Bills pass rush. That wasn't even that good. They need some interior help. They already have Ronnie Stanley on the outside, so I think they pick Elijah Vera Tucker to help the inside. And then the New Orleans Saints, at number 28, they pick Xavier Collins. I forget who their linebacker is right now, but Xavier Collins can learn behind him. He's getting a little old, so Xavier Collins would be a good pick for the New Orleans Saints. At number 29, Kadarius Toney, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers have been neglecting wide receiver for so long, so I think this would be a great pick for them. They should not neglect it. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play for maybe if they're lucky, 2 more years before Jordan Love takes over. So I think they should invest in wide receiver right now because they were so close to the Super Bowl. So I think they need to make the biggest Super Bowl push that they can. They pick up Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, to help that out. And then at number 30, the Buffalo Bills select Christian Barmore. He somehow slips all the way down to here. The Buffalo Bills pick him up. He's a defensive tackle. It can help the Bills stop the run, which they struggled at last year, so super good piece for their defense. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 31, they picked Joseph Asai, outside linebacker. He can be a pass rusher, which I think he was the best at in Texas, or he can be more of an outside linebacker guarding the flat, but honestly just a super versatile player that can go super well with Devin White, and it can be a really good piece for this Buccaneers defense. And at number 32, the Kansas City Chiefs select Wyatt Davis, interior offensive line. They're low on cap space, so they don't have much to do with that. So they need to get good players here. I mean, it makes sense because they're in the Super Bowl. That's what it's all for. So I think they pick up Wyatt Davis. He's in the interior. Keep Patrick Mahomes safe. The last thing you need is Patrick Mahomes to get injured. So keeping him safe from the interior pressure is exactly what you need to do. They pick him up at number 32. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. I have tons more draft content and off-season content coming. One of my videos that's going to be coming next week is a free agent that every team in the NFL should sign, so stay tuned for that. My next video is going to be NFL end-of-season award predictions, which is going to come out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Watch my last video right there, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. See ya!